Fox Carolina Investigates is following up another lawsuit against an upstate jail over an inmate's death after he was placed in a restraint system. It was filed nearly a year after Fox Carolina first reported on the death of a man who was allegedly left in this restraint for hours. Senior investigative reporter Grace Runkel breaks down those new allegations.
Deputies booked Justin Hammonds into the Cherokee County Detention Center on March 20th, 2024. He died that same day behind bars. Hammonds' mother has now filed a lawsuit claiming his death was preventable.
The lawsuit lays out this series of events. When Hammonds was booked, he showed signs of severe drug intoxication. He was agitated, combative, and suicidal. Deputies allegedly placed Hammonds in a wrap, a type of full-body restraint, and then they tased him. The lawsuit says no medical screening was done, but South Carolina's jail minimum standards require every inmate be screened immediately upon admission, with findings approved by a physician or medical authority. Instead, Hammonds was reportedly moved, still in the wrap, to a visitation cell. Court documents don't say how long he was there, but say employees did not provide, quote, continuous direct monitoring. Hammonds was eventually found unresponsive. The lawsuit says employees tried to resuscitate him, but their efforts were, quote, impeded by the restraints. Hammonds was pronounced dead at the hospital. Cause of death? Methamphetamine toxicity. Anna Karina Parker, the attorney representing Hammonds' mother, said she can't comment on the specifics of the case, but released this statement to Fox Carolina Investigates. Simply said, a loss of life is tragic and all life is valuable and precious. We have a duty to protect life, but even more so for those who are confined in our prison system. We have a greater responsibility to ensure all safety precautions are exercised. Hammonds' mother saying not only was he a son, but he was a father, big brother, first nephew, her mother's first grandson, and had local Gaffney lifelong friends. Hammonds' death closely mirrors another at the same detention center. Johnny Bollinger also died from methamphetamine toxicity complicated by hypertensive cardiovascular disease after spending 7 hours in the wrap. His family sued the detention center just over a year ago. That case settled for $65,000 in November, though the county denied any wrongdoing.
Fox Carolina Investigates reached out to the Cherokee County Sheriff, who said the department does not comment on pending litigation. Fox Carolina Investigates will continue to follow this case.